Hey Heather, thank you so much for being with me on the Purposeful Mindset podcast. I'm super grateful to have you on my show. I'm just so excited to listen to your life lessons, what you have been up to, what you have gone through, what you have done in your life, because I know you have been up to some super inspiring stuff. You're in the same industry as me. You've been coaching people for many years now, and I'm just so excited to genuinely just be quiet and listen to what your top 5 life lessons are, because I know you're going to add so much value to my listeners. So I am just going to leave it all to you. Why don't you kind of introduce yourself briefly to my listeners, because they probably haven't heard of you before, and then you can go straight into what are your top 5 life lessons.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I have definitely got some big lessons for your listeners to dive into, and hopefully take away some actionable points that they can and implement in their own lives as well. So for those that don't already know me, I'm a high performance mentor and online strategist, and I help businesses both online and offline scale, and sometimes even just start. Sometimes I work with people who just come to me with an idea. And I know we were talking before we recorded that so often that is the inner work that is so essential, which definitely leads into the 5 biggest lessons I've learned in my life. So the first lesson I want to share is that without self-love and self-acceptance, everything is going to be more difficult. I grew up always... You want to say?
No, I said it's so true. So true.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right.
When I grew up always putting other people first, such a people pleaser. And I thought that was how you were as a good person. If you were a good person first, you took care of them. And especially being female as well, I think we are societally driven towards that, like nurture people, look after people. So whether it was being as a daughter, as a friend, as a girlfriend, as a wife, all these roles I played, I was like, well, as long as they're happy, that's okay. And, as long as everything's fine. And what I realized, getting older and wiser, is that actually that doesn't serve anybody. You can't shine bright and actually be your very best and take care of people in the best possible way if you don't first love who you are at the very core. And it's not a matter of just saying, oh, I'll just put a post-it note with, I love myself on the mirror, and like, boom, next week you're done. It has been a long process of actually getting over the fact that it's okay to love who you are. And, something, you probably do this with your clients and things like that, but, things like mirror work and journaling and all these incredible tools can help you get there. But without self-love, you end up really sabotaging who you were put on this planet to be. So that is my first and the biggest one, is you've got to accept yourself. If you can't look in the mirror and look in your eyes and go, I rock, I am awesome, I love 100% of who I am, then we have some work to do, for sure.
I love that. And honestly, I totally agree with you, Heather, because I think that's also coming from now a male perspective as well. Males struggle with this a lot more than females. I've seen, even through my clients or just from friends in general. I'm always just like to my guy friends, like, why don't you be more open? Like, why are you trying to hide? Why are you trying to pretend like you're someone you're not? Because I can feel you, man. I can feel that you're not being yourself. And I realized in my own personal growth journey and just upgrading my mindset, I just realized like so 2 days changed my life. The first day was when I met my friend, and he shared the concept of the cash flow quadrant from Rich Dad Poor Dad with me. And he kind of showed me how life and what life could look like for me in the future, rather than just working for someone else for the rest of my life. That was the first day. And the second day was actually when I sat behind this screen on my bed one day after like a year in personal growth, learning so much. And I was like, Sadiq, why are you being so selfish? Why are you not sharing this wisdom from these books? Why are you not sharing them? You need to start making videos and share them. Screw your friends. You know what? You're just going to accept yourself for who you are. No matter the spots on your face, how you look, your hairstyle, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that someone out there needs to hear my energy, my voice, something that I have to say that's going to really help them. And so I just started making videos, and I was like, and I blocked my friends and family because I was still worried at the time, but I was like, screw it. I want to find those strangers and impact them. So I'll sacrifice blocking my friends and family to just add value to them. And that all came because I accepted myself, like you said. I found that self-love for myself. I started accepting everything about me, how I was, and things I didn't like. I was like, I just love how you are, so they can just stay like that. And then I was also asking people, if there's anything you need me to improve on, please let me know, because I also want to grow and change as well. So I love that. Self-love. So
And I think it's really an important thing, you know. Obviously my experience growing up as a woman, it's sort of, there's all different kinds of challenges, but I think you're absolutely right. The guys that I've worked with, when you work with women, especially once they've made the decision to work with a coach, they are like, right, floodgates are open, we will tell you everything. With a guy, it's sometimes like getting a chisel and just like chiseling away and go,
slowly.
Okay, next layer, we need to peel back another layer. So you know, and I think that is so much social conditioning. It can be very hard for guys, especially when you know, put some of these, and I'm going to put it in inverted commas, you know, the woo stuff, like the personal development journey. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, this is what you need to do.
And they're just like, no way, that's not going to help.
Yeah. Yeah, ton of resistance, and then they go, oh, it worked really well. I'm like, oh, I know. So moving on to the second lesson, which is, like I said, the self-love that overrides, it's just everything, absolutely everything. But the next one is not living by your limitations, which actually goes into, you know, exactly what we were saying. Sometimes there's so many social limitations. We grow up either in a religion or a community or just life circumstances, and we are programmed to be like, well, this is life, this is what I can achieve, this is what is possible for me. And for me, growing up, I had an amazing childhood, amazing family, but, you know, we weren't super rich, you know, we didn't have, you know, tons of cash, we definitely weren't super poor, but you grow up programmed. You know, my mum had lots of different jobs, highly intelligent woman, could do anything, but she raised us. That was just sort of a generational thing, really. She stayed at home and raised us. So my aspirations were just get through school and get a job and have kids, get married, all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, that's what life is. That's what I'm aspiring to. And you don't realize at such a young age how you're being programmed. And so now at 38, I look back and go, oh my goodness, like, what was I thinking? There's so much more to life, and there's so much more I was always capable of, that you just don't even realize the limitations that you already have programmed into you. And that's probably one of the biggest challenges when you go down this personal development journey. You're like, oh, there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of limiting beliefs that are well and truly programmed, and it's digging them out and finding out where they are and removing them. Because if you live by your limitations, you never ever get to even start scratching the surface of your potential. And I think that's heartbreaking for anyone on this planet. We've all been put to live our soul's purpose for this one rotation of our lifespan. So to live by limitations and not fully embrace everything that you are and everything you're capable of, it's just heartbreaking to me. And I'm blessed that actually in the last sort of 6 or 7 years, I've peeled back those layers and gone, oh yeah, life's awesome now, when I don't think I'm constrained by something that was programmed into me when I was, you know, just a small child. And if you can release those, you know, blocks, whether you can do it by yourself or working with a coach, it's absolutely game changing.
So true. Again, I love that. I'm just here listening because it just made me realize as well, even through my journey, just I think it's, even surrounding myself with the right people helped the most. That was definitely another key factor for me. But like you said, even just, you know, just literally accepting yourself and then finding that boldness and the courage to just be yourself and just find some purpose, you know, find something that just brings your heart peace, and just stop worrying about other people, you know, just forget worrying about other people's opinions, because everybody's gonna have an opinion. One of my mentors once said, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, but some are full of you know, like some are full of crap. Okay. So it's like, it made me realize, in that day I had a little light bulb moment, because I was like, so true. Everybody's gonna judge me anyways. I can be the kindest, nicest human being in the world. Some random person on social media is gonna call me a bag of crap. You know, they're gonna say you don't even know what you're talking about. Who taught you that? Or where did you get that perspective from? Or, you know, people always gonna have people are gonna have some kind of negative opinion towards you. That's okay. I send those people a love heart back, you know, because they're in a bad place in their life, and I feel sorry for them. I have so much empathy and so much compassion that I genuinely just send them a love heart. Like, you need this, man. I'm in inner peace. I'm all good in my life, but you are somewhere so like down and sad in your life right now. I'm gonna send you some love, man. You need this.
And I completely,
like
Completely agree with that. You know, it's never about, I mean, we're in the online space. You just have to, we get this kind of stuff all the time. It's just like, no, absolutely send them love. But what I would say is one of the amazing things for people listening to this who are at that point, they're like, oh, but I do care about what people think. And I remember sometimes when people say something to you and you believe it to be true, that's when their opinion hits. And, you know, it might be something, you know, if you're self-conscious about your body, someone might go, oh, you're carrying a bit more weight now, or like, or you're too, I used to get, oh, you're looking a bit skinny, and it would like literally stab me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And obviously you put on this big front, but once you get the self-love piece in place, you're like, okay, cool, I'm awesome, but that's your opinion, that's great, off you go. So once you
Yep.
build up this resilience and you actually know that you're like, no, you're all good, other people's opinions can't even impact you, because you're like, okay, well, off you pop with
Yeah.
your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's so true. So you kind of just like a little pinch. Oh,
Yeah, you're
so,
like,
so
yeah,
cute.
okay.
You just carry on. You know, like, such a cute little comment. There you go. Take some love. Have a good day. It's like
Yeah.
this stuff doesn't affect you because, as you said, Heather, like it's because of the work, the inner work that we've done on yourself. And for those of you listening, as Heather just said, if you are, if you still do worry and still do care about what people think, my best tip to those people, because me being the super shy person I used to be, in case you didn't know, I have over 6 years ago, I used to be super shy. I couldn't speak to women. I had 8 friends. I played Call of Duty, and that was my life. And then now to be a business coach, to be a speaker, to have done a TEDx and all of this stuff that everyone thinks fancy online, I'm just like, I'm just a normal guy like you. I'm just a normal guy like you, born in one of the poorest boroughs in London, and like I've just, life has humbled me to appreciate what I have. So first thing I say is to be grateful for everything that they have every single day. And the second thing, if you want to stop worrying about people's opinions, is you got to do a lot of like mindset work, a lot of personal growth, as I did. It took me over 1 year over 1 year of reading books that I didn't even want to read because I wasn't interested in reading books. I'd rather have learned them through videos, but I was told, read the books, you're gonna have to read it. So I read them and I loved it, and I don't regret it at all, because those books changed my life and changed my mindset. And when people were telling me, like, don't you care about what people think about you, you know, you making these videos and stuff, I was like, nope. Like, am I doing anything bad in the videos? No. I'm genuinely sharing positivity, love, kindness, and a positive impact to people's lives. I'm not doing anything wrong. And until I convinced myself that I'm doing only good, it made me realize that I don't really care about random people's opinions, including family and friends. I didn't care. I was like, screw them. I'm just gonna do what makes me happy, because that made me happy. So focus on what makes you happy, not others.
Yeah, totally agree. And yeah, there's so many things, like we could go on, but I will carry on with the 5. Otherwise we'll be here for hours. But yeah, so number 3 is take care of your body, because it is the only one you have. And I didn't appreciate how important this was when I was younger. I worked a couple of different jobs. I was doing college. Food was just this thing that I shoved down my throat to get through the next day. It was microwave meals. It was, you know, I worked late at cinema, and it was the kebab shop and stuff like that. And I was like,
Noodles.
that's fine. I'm like, oh God, that's not fine. Like now I'm just like, oh my God, I wouldn't ever do that. But that was because I was naturally thin. I thought, well, it's fine. I'm not putting on weight. So this is a perfectly fine diet for me. And I wasn't taking care of myself. And it's only when you sort of really start to get unhealthy symptoms, you're like, oh no, this isn't great. My energy is slumping or anything like that. And I think we live, especially in the West, healthy is a term that I just want to see completely banned, because our version of what a healthy Westerner is, I'm like, it means you haven't got disease yet, or someone hasn't picked it up yet. Whereas if you actually focus on optimal health for you, and this isn't about following a fad, I'm not telling you should become vegan or go macro diet or do whatever, it's about what's healthy for you and is optimal for you. That is the biggest shift that I've made in my own personal health. Like, touch wood, I just don't get ill. Like I don't get ill. I look after myself, and it's a priority, rather than, oh God, the doctor's told me I've got diabetes, now I should probably lay off the cake. No. And I'm being really passionate about this because I see too many people in the West. We've just gone nuts with like what exercise is. Like, exercise has to be this thing that you pay a fortune to a gym membership for. You have to do all the big classes, you have to make it all complicated. It's like, just move your body and look after yourself. And again, if you have the self-love, this is going to be second nature, because you will respect yourself. But think about what you're eating. Is it going to nourish your body? If it isn't, don't eat it.
Yeah.
And if we just all took care of ourselves a lot more and put that as a priority, oh my gosh, everything just feels better. The energy levels are just so much better. And I know you agree, because I've seen some of your Instagram, like, you train like a crazy man.
I don't even want to add to this too much, because again, I'm going to get super passionate about it as well. I can go on for it. I can go on about this certain one lesson that you're sharing for so long. But just to quickly add a little bit, I 100% agree, because when I really started taking my health serious over 4 years ago, as you know, like, you've seen the videos that I post now every Monday, but it wasn't ever like that. Now people see. I always tell people, you never see the behind the scenes. That's why I got this canvas behind me, because it reminds me, and it keeps reminding other people whenever they see it in my podcast or wherever, that no one ever sees the success at the top. No one sees the iceberg. They see all of the other, they don't see the other stuff, like the hard work, the late nights, the perseverance, all the discipline and consistency that I had in 4 years, where I went from couldn't even do 5 push-ups to now doing triple clap 360 push-ups. And
yeah, I mean, I don't even know how you do that. It's literally like you defy gravity. I'm like, oh my God.
There's only one guy on Instagram that absolutely changed my life. Like, I just started following this one guy because a friend of mine from the gym told me. And since I followed him 4 years ago, I just never looked back. I follow very few people in the fitness space, but he's the only one that I copy. I want to master how he does things, the way he works out. Majority of it is body weight. I do mainly body weight. And I love what you said as well about, it's not about just going to the gym or having the fancy weights and having the equipment. The reason why I share my Monday videos, Heather, the real reason is, number one, for me to look back in the future at all of these videos and be like, wow, the first one compared to that, look how much I've changed. That's the first reason. Second reason is obviously to inspire and motivate everyone else, but it's actually to just help people, to inspire them to move their body and showing them that, look, Sadiq is doing something on a bench. He's got a chair. He's using the floor. He's using just his body weight. You can move your body and do amazing creative things if you just use a little bit of common sense and use what you have around you. You can do everything. And that's my biggest passion, is to teach people how body weight training in itself can just change your life, and you never have to make another excuse about, I don't have a gym. I was so excited when the lockdown happened. Everyone's crying about not going to the gym. I'm like, I've got the park. I'm so excited. Like, I could just go do what I do anyways with my body weight training. But as I said, I can go on about this for ages. But yeah, you're right. Just moving your body, guys. Just going for that walk, skipping, doing some push-ups, some sit-ups, squatting, just, walking the dogs, like something. Just anything that makes your ass off the seat, go and move. That's it. Just don't sleep all day and don't sit on that chair that you're sitting on right now. Just get off and go do something.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be difficult. Watch a movie and do your exercises. Like, I don't care where people do it, and it's just about loving who you are, because I actually don't know how old you are, but at 38, I'm just like, well, I really don't want to get to 58 and go, oh man, I really should have done something when I was younger. So it's really, whatever age you are, start now if you haven't already.
11 years younger, by the way.
Huh?
I'm 11 years younger.
Well, that's why you can defy gravity. I'm not even attempting that.
So, please don't. I should put a disclaimer, because people try that and I'm like, don't do it, because I've been practicing. Okay.
Face first on the concrete.
Honestly, the first time I did a 360 push-up, I was actually practicing in the gym, and I splat my face on the mats. And I wish I had a recording of that to show people that that's where it started. When I thought I'm going to do it, and then splat. I was like, damn it. But yeah, it's all just a journey.
Yeah, definitely. We could talk for hours. I'm really conscious of the time, so I'm gonna go straight into the fourth point, which actually you touched on already. It's gratitude for the good and the bad. It is, I mean, to be honest, even the phrase good and bad, I don't even believe in good and bad. It just is. So it's very easy for us to be like, oh, I'm gonna fill out the gratitude journal because I've just had a 5K launch, or I've just done this, or life's going great, I'm so grateful. But actually, when it hits the fan and things are going poorly for you, that is when gratitude is going to lift you up, and it's going to lift you out, because when you actually focus on what is going well in your life, and there is always something. I mean, honestly, again, living in the West, like the fact that we even have a house, the fact that we have electricity, the fact that we can get up in the morning and know that we're safe. You know, it's just those simple things can lift you from a place of, oh my goodness, the sky's falling, life is so hard, to a place of, do you know what? I actually have a lot to be grateful for. I'm blessed in so many ways. I'm going to make today count. And that's not about doing, you know, you don't have to then save the world with the rest of the day. It's just about, sometimes life can feel so heavy that just getting out of bed, you're just like, it's tough. It's really tough. I've had some incredibly challenging times in my life. When my son was born prematurely, I remember, and I'm not a religious person, but I'm definitely spiritual. I remember just crying, being like, God, what have I done? What did I do? Why am I being punished? Like, why have you punished this baby to punish that? I was in such a dark place of like, what on earth is going on? And gratitude really helped bring me out of that, because I was like, actually, no, I'm here, he's here, take one day at a time. And it's, when you know, for the listeners, I know, you know, the country's going, the world's going through a crazy time at the moment. So if you have those days where you're just like, I don't even know if I can get myself out of bed or take that one step forward, just think of all the things you have to be grateful for. The fact you're even in a cozy warm bed, like, be grateful for that. Be grateful for the fact you can move your body to get out of it, and just take that next step, because gratitude can lift you in the bad times, as well as being an amazing energy booster in the good times.
Love that. And one of my favorite little quotes that Lewis Howes shared once in his podcast, he said, gratitude is the antidote to life. And I totally just, honestly, I live my life just, the reason why people always think that I'm positive and I'm super passionate about everything and have so much energy, because I start and end my day every single day with gratitude. It's my biggest secret. Like, I'm just so grateful. When people say, Sadiq, are you like, don't you have those bad days? Don't you ever feel tired? I'm like, well, you haven't seen me. You don't live with me, right? You've never seen when I feel bad. I just choose not to share that on social media, you know? And that's the thing about social media. People only see not even 5% of your life. They only see what you want them to see. So they only show you the good times, the okayish times, the times with their friends and family and they're having fun. Sometimes just people just fake it till they make it online. And I'm trying like my hardest to just show people the reality of what I'm going through. And that's one of the reasons why I started a vlog a couple of months ago. Because I was just vlogging on YouTube and showing people my day, like from day to night. I stopped doing it because it was taking lots of my time to edit and post on YouTube and stuff. But a lot of people loved it because they've finally got to realize, oh my gosh, things like Sadiq sleeps on the floor because of his back pain or something. Like, what the hell? And I was just showing them everything. Like, this is the reality of me and my life behind the scenes. And people appreciate that because it comes back to right at the beginning what you said. When you accept yourself, you don't care what people think about your lifestyle. If I want to sleep on the floor, I'm going to sleep on the floor. I have a reason for why I do that. I have a bed there, but I don't sleep on the bed. Why? Because I just prefer to sleep on the floor. It's better for your back. You get better posture. So that's the reason why I do it. Doesn't mean everyone has to do it. It's just I'm just grateful that I have the ability to you know, to have the roof over my head, to have a podcast, my mindset, confidence that I have, the natural energy that God blessed me with. Like, I'm so grateful for that. And that's why being a coach, one of the biggest things that I love of being a coach is just my energy. Like, people just want to just take my energy every day. Like, my clients are always like, can we just talk to you every single day, please? Like, we just want to, well, I'm not the one call a week. Like, can you just speak to you every day? I'm like, you're free to text me all day and have like a random call during the week as well. But I can't speak to you every single day. You're supposed to be implementing and taking action on what I've already spoke to you about.
That brings a whole other level of boundaries. When you love what you do, you're like, DM me anytime, it's all fine.
They're like, oh crap, this woman's always gonna just keep messaging me now.
Yeah, I've been there, my friend.
It all comes from love and just pure, like, people feel me, right? People feel us as coaches. They feel that we genuinely care. We're not doing it for the money. We're doing it because I want to really help you and change your life. But the money is there as the middleman to make sure that you actually implement what you do. Because when I was putting out so much free content and all the free value, no one ever takes action on the free stuff. When they suddenly pinch their pocket and they're now paying you for something, they know Sadiq is gonna like check on me and make sure if I'm doing this or not. So they're gonna take action. And that's
that energy exchange is so important, which it isn't one of the lessons, but it was going to be one of those lessons about really, you know, getting comfortable receiving money, because that's a whole other podcast episode. But yeah, that's so true. So the fifth and final one is be present of the now. Now, this is definitely one I still struggle with. I don't think there's a single human that's like, yeah, I'm totally present in the exact moment all the time. But I find that throughout my life, the times when I've fallen into worry or I've been stressed, I have either been living in the past or living in the future. And I haven't actually been present at all to where my life is right now. And I think for the entrepreneurial people that are listening to this, we are so bad at living in the future, because we're like, oh my God, I set this goal and I hit it. Now what's next? What's next? What's next? And we never actually kind of go and breathe. And what's happened today? What am I feeling in my body today? What's my mind thinking? How am I today? What's going on in my world today? We're just so future focused, and we're so wrapped up quite often with our clients and our work, and it's busy. It's exhausting on your brain. And that's when so many entrepreneurs hit burnout, because we haven't actually taken that time to step back and reflect on what we've actually achieved. It may be just in a day, but I mean, God, as entrepreneurs, if we look back over a year, anyone listening to this who's been in business, look back at how much you've achieved, because honestly, internet years are like dog years. I swear. You feel like you've been working at this for a millennia, and you're like, oh, it's been 9 months. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like, I've achieved so much in such a short time, because we're so massively impatient as well. But when you actually allow yourself to be present, you realize that actually everything's great. You're still breathing. You can calm your mind. You can actually see what is happening around you, and the peace that gives you to just be like, oh no, I'm good. The reason I was stressed is I was thinking 3 weeks ahead, and I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about that. And if you can actually allow yourself to be present, even if it's just a short meditation every day, just to bring yourself back to the now, it's absolutely game changing.
Totally agree. Again, like, honestly, just listening to your words and just what you've been sharing, it just really makes me, or every guest that I just sit here listen to, makes me introspect and reflect again on my life, and I'm just so resonating with what I've been through in my journey. And you know, I am the youngest of the guests as a host, so you know, so for me it's just wisdom. You know, it's just I'm learning from people who are way older than me, who have experienced way more in life. And
hey, less than the way older.
I'm not talking about Heather. You know, I'm just talking about in general. I mean, I had Ernie on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he was, I don't know, 67 or something, still, you know, acting like he's 21. I was like, you're not old, Ernie. He's like, I'm an old man. I was like, no, you're not. You're like 18. He's like, yeah, I'm 18 at heart.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing, when you know, everything I've shared today, I feel younger now than I did at 30, because at 30 I was still in this kind of, I felt like I was still weighted down. I still had these balls and chains of what I thought my life should be. And, you know, the word should, every time that comes up, it's like, whoa, that's an alarm bell of like what life should be and how I should be, and the you know, kids and houses, and, you know, what the future's going to be. And oh my gosh, like once you let that go, you're just like, oh no, life's good. And actually age all of a sudden becomes just this random number that we kind of make up, really. It's not actually anything that impacts life at all. And yeah, it's so freeing.
You're just getting started, Heather.
Hell yes.
You're just getting started. This is just the beginning. You're not what you said you are earlier. You're actually just like 13.
Yep, I think so. I've regressed.
I think if everybody just realizes that whatever your age is and you're listening to this right now, just take away like 15 years from it, 20 years away from it, and imagine you're that age again. One of the things that I love doing with my clients and people that I meet, my friends and just people on social media, I always tell them, what is your real dream? You know, that dream when you had as a kid? What is that dream? Because someone has taken that away from you, or for some reason you stopped believing that you can do that still. So tell me what that is. Like, you know, I shared in my TED talk, I used to love Action Man. And obviously I'm not going to become a real life superhero, but instead I took that concept of Action Man and that I loved as a kid, and now I became Action Man in reality, because I'm the one who consistently takes action in my life every single day. And as a coach, I love helping people take action, which is why my Instagram line is now just so simple. I help you take action, simple as that. Like, just straight to the point. Like, what's the point of having all the fancy lines saying, I know business owners, blah, blah, blah. No one even reads it, in my opinion. I don't know what other people say about it, but no one really takes time to read that. They just want to know what you do. They see TEDx speaker, they see business coach. And if it just says there, I help you take action, that's exactly what they need from you if they want to hire you as a coach or whatever it is in your profile. If you're a photographer, I take photos of London, or London photographer. Just like keep it simple is the other thing. Like I want to add, people overcomplicate and they overthink way too much. If everyone just keeps things simple and implements the 5 things that Heather just shared, life will become so much more at peace for yourself. You'll be noticing that actually you're progressing and not regressing, because if you just do what Heather shared, those 5 tips, honestly, they're all in some way or another are interlinked, and they will help you to become a better version of yourself, to upgrade your mindset, to find that self-love, again, becoming a better version of yourself, and just implement those things in your life, and you suddenly start seeing results. The problem is a lot of you guys don't implement. You listen to the podcast or they watch all the videos and well done, Sadiq, amazing, we love your motivational Monday videos, and what are you doing? Like, stop watching my videos. I don't even care if you like or comment on them. It's there for me to inspire you to go and do it in your life. So loved what you shared, Heather. At the end of the show, I always share one last question, which is going to be for you, and you have to answer it in one sentence, which is usually a little bit hard for everybody, but let's see how Heather does.
Hands down, going to be the hardest thing I probably have to do. Okay, go for it.
All right, here we go. So imagine that Heather is giving a speech in a stadium full of 90,000 people. Imagine it's a TED talk. You're giving a TED talk to 90,000 people, and you're right towards the end of your speech, and at the end everybody has that tagline, everyone has that last sentence that they leave for everyone to introspect on. What would that last sentence be to all these 90,000 people in the room, for you on that stage, in that moment present? What would you share for them to kind of take away after the evening and implement and remember you by?
Oh, Sadiq, throw me in the deep end. Literally my brain's like, oh my gosh.
One sentence, Heather. No pressure.
I know, no pressure. Like TikTok.
No pressure. Take your time.
I know. I think, oh my God, there's so many things, but I honestly think, love who you are and the world will love you. Simple. That's it. Wrapped up. Round of applause, standing ovation, mic drop. I have left the room.
I love that. Straight to the point, powerful. Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. That honestly.
Well, obviously, I've done an amazing 45-minute TED talk. They're already like hanging on every word. That's just literally boom, off we go. Yeah. So yeah.
Mic drop and silence, and you leave the room. I love that. So powerful, guys. Make sure you guys go and show Heather some love. Heather, where can they reach out to you if they want to go and find out more about your services, your coaching, just in general, your social media, whether they want to reach out to you, maybe ask you a question about something you shared of one of these life lessons? What platform do you live on the most?
Best place is Instagram. I'm on there as Heather Angell Coaching. I genuinely mean this. This isn't just like a soundbite for a nice podcast. Like, if you want to DM me, just DM me. I am on Instagram probably way too much than is healthy. So I am always on there. So it's great to hear from you. And if you have any questions about anything I've shared. Also, I have my own podcast, the Focused and Fearless podcast. So do feel free to tune into that. It's a whole blend of business and mindset and spirituality and interviews with amazing people. So yeah, that's the 2 best places to find me.
Awesome. And I will be leaving all the links to Heather's social media and her website in the description on YouTube and all over the podcast. So honestly, guys, as I always say to you every single week, go and reach out to her, send her that DM if you're really struggling with something. I am pretty sure she would 100% reply to you, get back to you, even help you in some way through the messages. And if you want to take it further, jump on a call with her, because I'm also sure she'll do that for you. But yeah, Heather, honestly, for me, super grateful. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom on my show, and I'm looking forward to stay connected and learn more about what you will be up to in the next coming year.
World domination, baby.
I love it. You take care of yourself, and yeah, we'll keep in touch.